Good afternoon, and welcome to the 5th Annual Achievement in the Arts Awards presentation. Today, we will recognize 21 students from across Fayette County who've excelled in the musical, theatrical, and visual arts. Students from each of our 6 public school districts, as well as Geibel, are chosen by their teachers for this recognition. I'm Michael Edwards. I serve as the president of the Fayette County Cultural Trust, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you here today. I'd like to start out by thanking our sponsors for today's events. Armstrong, who will be filming today's presentation, and it will shortly be available on Channel 20 and 201 here in Connellsville area, as well as on YouTube. Atlantic Broadband, Brothers Laser Service, Davis & Davis, First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County, House Financial Services, the Inn at Watson's Choice Bed and Breakfast, Kissel & Associates, and PSI Group. We're also grateful for Murphy Hall for providing the facility to host the event today. The Fayette County Cultural Trust was started in 2006, and in 2007, we were officially recognized by the IRS as a 501c3 nonprofit. Our mission is to improve the quality of life in Fayette County through the promotion of our cultural, artistic, historic, and natural assets. We have done this through the installation of public art pieces, including sculptures, murals, and mosaics. We've offered a number of festivals, and one of our largest programs is called the Rural Arts Collaborative. This is funded through the Benedum Foundation, where artists are placed in the classroom to work along the teachers with students in year-long residencies. And as a culminating project, there's usually a public art piece that is done. On May 23rd, we're going to be holding the second RAC Institute, where teachers and administrators from across the region can come to learn about the program. Currently, we offer this in Washington County, Fayette County, we're in Ohio, West Virginia, where we're expanding in West Virginia, and coming soon to Westmoreland County. One of our other projects is called the Connellsville Canteen, where we offer a variety of dinner shows, cultural programming, including our ambassador program, and field trips. This Friday, we're hosting 82 third graders to the canteen. 5 years ago, I was approached by Chuck Motika, a Connellsville Rotarian, about the concept of this award. It was a natural fit for the work that we were doing, so it was easy to say yes. And we're very grateful for Rotary for continuing the partnership in this program. At this time, I'd like to bring forth Senator Pat Stefano.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First, I wanted to say thank you to the Connellsville Rotary Club, or properly said, the Rotary Club of Connellsville, and Chuck Moitika and Jerry Brow for their partnership with the Fayette County Cultural Trust to put an awards program like this together. Second, I want to say thank you to the students, and I'd rather say the artists in your field, for rising above all those that you work with and being recognized by your instructors for excelling in your fields. There's hardly a community that's in rebound, that's trying to grow, that does not incorporate the arts. Any community that's trying to grow again and does not will fail. So you are leaders in your field. I congratulate you for what you've done. I also congratulate your parents for supporting them, your students and your children, for allowing them to express themselves in the way they feel best and allowing them to grow and excel. And then last but not least, I want to say thank you to the instructors who take time out of their busy days to reach out to those who want to rise above. And they work so hard to do and grow those students that they work with. So thank you to all of them as well. What I have for you today for all the award winners is a certificate on behalf of the Pennsylvania State Senate. to recognize you in your achievement and allow you to revel in your glory today and for all that you've done. So on behalf of the Pennsylvania State Senate, congratulations and thank you.
At the end of the program, I ask that the award recipients stick around, and we're going to do a group photo in the back of the facility. At this time, I'd like to bring forth RJ Nestor, who has some inspirational words for you. RJ?
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. I want to thank the Fayette County Cultural Trust for having me here today. Did we turn this? Yeah, it's still on. Okay. It doesn't sound like much up here. I'm pleased to be back for a second year. I either did well enough that they had me back or they couldn't find anybody else any better. So I'm pleased to be up here. It's an honor to be here today with all of you who are those who were chosen by those who know. It's easy enough to be famous, I suppose, and be known by people who don't know any better. But when the people that are choosing you are the teachers, they're the people that know what quality is in the arts, whether that be your band director, or your theater director, or your art teacher. It's a fantastic honor to be here, and it's a privilege for me to be here. I was asked briefly to introduce myself. My name is RJ Nestor. I'm from down in Morgantown. The reason I'm hopefully a little bit relevant to you all today is that my background is in the arts, and I continue to work in the arts, but I also have components where I work and teach and coach sales and communication as well. So I continue as a theater person. My training is in music, but I also have found ways to leverage that in other ways. We'll talk about that a little bit here today. What we do as artists in the world, it can be tough. It's a tough world when budgets are tight and deficits are high. It can be difficult to convince people of the value of what we do in the arts. In historical contexts, it often seems that art thrives on adversity. We see a lot of great art coming out of times of strife and times of struggle. That's easy to say from the perspective of history. I'm not so sure that felt that way so much to the people who are in the midst of it. It's difficult when we don't have the financial support that we need sometimes. It's difficult when, as budgets get tighter, programs get cut, both in the schools and in the communities. And I love what Senator had to say about, a community that doesn't focus on growing the arts is going to fail in its rejuvenation. It's absolutely true. But that doesn't mean it's an easy sell. And it's partly difficult because it's hard to even define exactly what we mean when we talk about art. What is art? It's a subjective thing. What I may think is art, someone else may think is garbage. I tend to be fairly open-minded. If somebody says that what they've created is art, well, then it's art. I don't mind really one way or the other. But, for my own things, when I'm composing or when I'm writing, I'm looking for a way to communicate, often in a context that is difficult to put into words. And it's a different form of communication. I'm not interested, as you can see by looking at me, in being a starving artist. I'm much more interested in being able to know where my next meal is coming from. So I want it to be something that's going to connect. As a communicator, I want it to be something that is going to make sense to someone else. But that's me. And who the artist is gets to determine what that is as far as I'm concerned. But that doesn't mean it's easy to explain to someone else why that has value, why the expression is important, why it's necessary that we have the support that we need to do this. So I'm going to make two absolutely contradictory points today. But it's the arts, so I can be zen and create paradox, and it's okay. I have a lot of friends. My undergraduate degree is in composition. My master's is, bless you. Yeah. My master's is in conducting. And so I have a lot of friends who are music educators. And very often they, among other arts educators, are called upon to explain why their field is worthy of continuing to exist, or continue to exist at least at the current funding levels. And one of the ways that they do that is they cite studies that show that test scores across the board improve when people are participating in the arts. You know, band students do better on their biology tests, for example. Bless you as well. It's a nice sneezy room today. And while that has merit, and I appreciate that point of view, especially when you're trying to figure out how to justify the A in STEAM instead of it just being STEM, I think it invites a certain counterargument that when the budgets get even tighter and when the deficits get even higher, well, we're saying the arts are only valuable in as much as they support another field, or they support another area of education. And yet, we were beating drums before we planted crops. We were drawing animals on cave walls before we domesticated them. We were telling stories and passing things down from generation to generation before we even knew how to write. The arts are an integral part of what it means to be a human being. They're part of who we are. And to say that that's only relevant in the context of science or mathematics, which, by the way, I have no problem with. I'm a nerd about everything. But to say that the arts are only valuable in the context of science and what have you is to miss a fundamental point. Now, I said I would make two contradictory points. Maybe it's a pretty good idea to define the arts in the context of how they serve other things. Google did a study among their hires. They went back about 8 years and looked at the people that they had hired over those 8 years, and looked at the skill sets that they came in with and how successful those people had been over the course of the 8 years. And they determined, and I'm actually going to quote from the study here, it was called Project Oxygen. And it says, the 7 top characteristics of success at Google are all soft skills: being a good coach, communicating and listening well, possessing insights into others, including others' different values and points of view, having empathy toward and being supportive of one's colleagues, being a good critical thinker and problem solver, and being able to make connections across complex ideas. And if that's not a pretty good list of things that you learn how to do in the arts, then I don't know what is. When we're in the arts, we learn how to be creative, we nurture that creativity, we learn how to communicate, we learn how to collaborate. And among those 3 things, you're not going to get a much more valuable list of things to be good at than that. Whether it be that you're going on to be in the arts, or whether you're going on to participate in some other field, to be creative, to be able to communicate, and to be able to collaborate effectively is going to be a powerful tool. So now let me ask this. Of the recipients here today, show of hands, who is planning to go into a career in the arts? Okay, so 6, 7 or so, and you can put your hands down. And I'll assume, since it's sort of a one or the other, that those of you who didn't raise your hand are planning to go into a career in a field other than the arts, which is great. So for just a moment, I'm going to talk to those of you who are going into the career in the arts. But please, of the others of you, don't stop paying attention, because you'll find that what I'm about to say to them is going to relate to you too. First of all, for those of you going into the arts, you are going to have to learn how to make your own opportunities. They just aren't really, going to fall in your lap. At least, well, I mean, they might. But even luck, you'll find, goes to the people who are open to the opportunities and who are ready for the opportunities when they arrive. You know, if you want a play of yours to be performed, produce it. Direct it. Hire your own actors. Get your friends to be in it. If you want to, if you're writing a music to be played by a band, form the band. Because nobody's going to do those things for you. You have to be your own advocate. And you have to make those opportunities. Now, this is our creativity point. You have to make those opportunities. But you can't make them in a vacuum. The network that you have and the relationships that you build are going to make it possible for those things to happen. Actively build those relationships. That's the communicate component. Actively build relationships. And this one is super important. Never, ever, ever be a diva. Do good, hard work all the time. Be a valuable collaborator. I've done a lot of music directing in musicals over the years, and I've worked with a lot of actors who have gone on to be on Broadway. I've worked with a lot of actors who have previously been on Broadway before I worked with them. And the stereotype of, the theater star is that they are hard to get along with, hard to work with. And I can tell you categorically that not a single one who's been on Broadway that I've ever worked with has been a hassle to work with. And I can even tell you why that's the case. Because theater is a very small field. And if you're a total jerk to work with, people will never hire you again. And so if you start out being a jerk and burning bridges, you never get to the point that you're able to make it to Broadway. You never get there. Now can be sort of generalized to other areas as well. Be good to work with. Never, ever, ever be a diva. Now, to those of you who may not be going into other fields, everything I just said to them regarding the creativity of making your own opportunities, the communication of building relationships, the collaboration of never ever being a diva and doing good work all the time, that applies exactly to you too. Careers are almost never straight lines anymore. You may start out in one field and kind of navigate a little toward another and kind of navigate a little toward another. You may start in one area, decide you hate it, and switch over to something else entirely. You have to be looking for those opportunities, and you have to be your advocate. You have to build relationships. I am here today because my friend Jeremy Hoover works with this group and invited me up here. We're in a business networking group together. I'm actively building those networks. That's why I'm able to be here today. And yes, you have to stand up for yourself, but you have to do it wisely, and you have to do it with purpose and support. You can't be that person. They say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, yes, but eventually the squeaky wheel gets replaced too. You have to be your own advocate, but you have to do it within the context of that community and being the supporter and being the collaborator and figuring out how to solve problems, not finding opportunities to create more of them. I want to leave you with a couple little thoughts here today. As part of my music background, I've spent a lot of time accompanying singers. I teach voice as well, and I've also accompanied singers working with, probably 30 different voice teachers over the years, thousands of lessons, hundreds of students, lots and lots of teachers. And every teacher has a little bit of a different approach. Some are obviously just the nature of the thing. Some are more efficient than others. Some are more effective teachers than others. But what you find is that the people who have the most success, it doesn't really matter that much how effective the tools are that the teacher is giving. What matters is whether the student embraces and uses the tools. It doesn't much matter what your background's in, whether it's in the arts or whether it's in engineering. The tools that you get from that are applicable anywhere as long as you you look for the opportunities to use them. As long as you find ways to make the things that you know how to do apply to the situation at hand, to be creative about that. So it doesn't matter so much what your background is. It matters how you make that background relevant. How you make who you are and the skills that you bring to bear important in whatever it is that you do. So this is my charge to you. This is what I'm going to leave you with here today. Embrace what the arts have taught you. We need more creators. We need more communicators. We need more collaborators. It doesn't matter if we're talking about in the arts or anywhere else. We need them all throughout society, in every profession. I'd like you, when you go, I'm going to give you an assignment right now. I will not be grading it, and there will be no follow-up. So like all things in this world, it will be up to you to decide whether it's going to be something for you to do or not. I promise it'll be useful. I'd like you to, this evening, sit down, get a pen and a piece of paper. If you must do it electronically, you can. I like my apps too, but for this kind of stuff, I like to write it down. And I want you to write down the things that you've learned in band, in art, in choir, in theater. Write them down. Write down the things that that come to mind. This is brainstorming, so it doesn't matter if it's a perfect list. Write down those things that you've learned that have made a difference for you, that have changed the way that you see the world. And then file it away. And every so often, when you're having that moment where you feel like you aren't doing what you need to be doing, or you're not contributing as much as you can contribute, you're a little bit depressed about this or that or the other, pull out that list and remind yourself, and then, of course, add to it later on. Remind yourself the tools that you have. Remind yourself the value that you bring. Remind yourself of the things that the arts have taught you. And then be confident in that. And be confident in your power to change the world with it. Thank you again for having me here today. It's been my honor.
Thank you, RJ. And I can vouch for the partnership piece of that, because everything that we do, we bring partners to the table, and it is so important in what you will do in your future. So now on to the awards. First, though, I want to thank Dan Cox, is the Executive Director of the Cultural Trust, and he's put together the PowerPoint and all our speaking points. So thank you, Dan. And Jerry Brow, who is also a Connellsville Rotarian and a Trust Board member, is going to, will be switching off with the presentation. So, and after we read about you, you can come forth, and Chuck Motika will hand you your honors as well as your check. So first up, from Albert Gallatin High School, we have Sean Anthony Durda Jr. Sean attended the PMEA District Band in 2015 and has participated in many jazz bands and chamber ensembles. From 2014 to 19, he has participated in the school marching band. Sean has taken choir for 2 years and has sung the national anthem for multiple events and was in 5 musicals in the past 4 years. People who have inspired Sean include his band director, choral director, and theater director. Sean is a member of the National Honor Society. His future plans are to attend Seton Hill University in the fall, where he will major in music education. He also plans on auditioning for the United States Air Force Band. His teacher, Sean Dorso, had this to say. Sean is currently the euphonium section leader of the Albert Gallatin High School Marching Band and participates in drama, choir, concert band, marching band, jazz ensemble, chamber ensemble, and low brass quartet. Sean is a hardworking student and an excellent leader who will no doubt have much success in this field. Sean? In the area of theater, James Garrett Brown. Garrett has been in many theatrical musicals while at Albert Gallatin High School, including Seussical, Charlotte's Web, Grease, Jack and the Giant, The Wizard of Oz, Bye Bye Birdie, Uh-Oh, Here Comes Christmas, On the Worst Day of Christmas, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, A Gift to Remember, and Junie B. Jones Is Not a Crook, and Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. The play he directed include All His Jazz, a musical on Broadway through the ages. James's mentors include his teachers, Toby McCouth, who directs all the shows at Albert Gallatin, Mrs. Rebecca Kaufman-Taylor, who is a professional actress and theater veteran, who also teaches theater at Albert Gallatin, Mr. John Wagner III, who is an inspiring and great mentor. Mrs. Cirillo, who is also a friend and teacher. James has been a member of the National Honor Society since 2017 and was accepted to the University of Pittsburgh and starts in the fall. His teacher had this to say. This winter, Garrett was awarded the opportunity to perform an original composition and scene at the Benedum Center for the cast of Hamilton and the audience. He was chosen as one of 42 high school students to perform out of 2,500 entries. Not only does Garrett excel in the areas of theater, but he is also the top of his senior class. He is currently taking 2 college courses, calculus and chemistry, and last year he completed AP Biology, AP Literature, in which he scored 4 on the AP exam for both classes. He's also a member of the Academic League, debate team, Hometown High Q, and the Young Astronauts Club. Outside of school, Garrett is currently completing an internship at Montgomery Medical and is an active member of his church youth group. He has also worked very hard on the completion of his Eagle Scout project. Garrett chose to honor local veterans in his community by installing banners with their names on telephone poles. Lastly, Garrett was a volunteer at the Seussical Character Breakfast hosted by the Albert Gallatin Education Foundation. At the breakfast, Garrett posed with children for pictures and spoke kind words of encouragement to them. He is always very helpful to his teachers and his peers. He's a hard worker, very dedicated in his field. In the fall, Garrett will be attending Pitt to study neuroscience. Garrett? And in the visual arts from Albert Gallatin, Scott Plants. Scott does volunteer work for the Phylogeny Explorer. He is inspired by his art teacher, Andrew Kinnear, because of his dedication to enhancing his style of art. Scott's hope is to continue with his hobby of expressing himself through art and provide scientific illustrations of organisms to teach people about the field of biology. His teacher had this to say: Scott has a strong interest in paleontology, entomology, and speculative evolution. Scott uses his artistic skill to illustrate the anatomy of animals and creatures within the realm of these sciences. He has a strong understanding of anatomy and applies this knowledge to his drawings and sculptures. He impresses me with his ability to blend art and science and deserves this honor and recognition. Scott? Okay, Jerry.
Thank you, Michael. It's now my pleasure to introduce honorees from Brownsville Area High School. The first honoree is in the category of music, and it's Caitlin Angel. Caitlin Angel won first place in the Stars on Stage Talent Show for 2016 through 2019. She also won first place at the Fayette County Stonehouse Idol Competition at the Fayette County Fairgrounds in 2018 and 2019. People who have inspired Caitlin are Janice Joplin, Stevie Nicks, and her mom. She has achieved high honors in 2018-19 school year in the 3rd and 4th school semesters. And Caitlin was the vice president of the school art club. Her future plans include continuing her involvement in music and being an art therapist musician. She wants to continue her musical career and study in the field of medicine and marine biology. One of her teachers, Bethany Hughes, comments that Caitlin has been an active participant in the Brownsville Chorus for a number of years and has actively participated in numerous community events. So we congratulate Caitlin Angel, and unfortunately Caitlin wasn't able to be here today with us, but congratulations to Angel. Our next honoree from Brownsville Area High School is in the area of theater, and it's Jaden Jones. Jaden is involved in several school clubs and activities, including the National Honor Society, the French Honor Society, the debate team, the environmental club, the Future is Mine book club, the Thespian Society and Drama Club, math competition team, Tri-High Y, and the Leo Club. She is president of the Rotary Interact Club, Student Council, and Student Forum. Jada is also captain of the varsity cheerleading squad, and she volunteers her time as a student coach for the Brownsville area middle school cheerleaders. She also has a passion for community service and is a member of the Students in Action team. And they won both regionally and nationally during her junior year with the Jefferson Awards Foundation. Jada has maintained a 4.0 grade point average and highest honors throughout all 4 years of high school. She is a 2-year award winner of the Challenge Program Community Service Award, a member of the Penn State's 4.0 Club, and during her junior year received Student of the Month through the Fayette Chamber of Commerce. Jada will be attending Fordham University in Manhattan, New York in the fall, where she will double major in theater and business. Jada loves the arts, and because she feels she can use them to not only express herself, but to act as an example for others. She has always been fascinated with the performing arts and credits many of her successes to them. She wants to pursue a career in theater because studying theater will help to build character by providing skills in public speaking, networking, and working on a team. Theater also helps her express herself and uniquely convey who she is. Her biggest artistic achievement was getting to play the female lead, Ariel Moore, in her school's production of Footloose during her junior year. Her teacher, Tricia Rolfe, is very connected to Jada, and she relates this story about her. The moment I met Miss Jada as a freshman in my academic English class, I knew she was someone special. I was immediately drawn to her infectious personality and outgoing style. She was not afraid to try anything. I remember when a speaker came to speak to the entire school. He asked for volunteers to come to the stage. Here was Jaden, a freshman. She stepped up and did a dance in front of the whole class. At that moment, I saw that she would be a star in my musical. I had no idea if she could sing or dance, but she had that magic. She drew in the entire audience of her peers. They were mesmerized. Her eyes glittered while she was on stage. She did not disappoint. She stepped in as an understudy for a senior. She became a lead during her sophomore and junior and senior years, and she has incredible talent. She is a role model, she is a scholar, but most importantly, she is a great person. Jada, would you come forward? And our final honoree from Brownsville Area High School is in the area of visual arts, and that is Valerie Warren. Valerie is a self-taught portrait artist. She has quite a scholastic art portfolio and has won awards in drawing and illustrating. Her mentors include Mr. Brian Nicholson, who has been an amazing mentor for her and has taught her not to give up. Valerie's academic achievements include 3 years in the French Honor Society, 4 years in art club, where she was president in her senior year, and 4 years as a Rotary Interact member. 4 years of academic league, 4 years in Tri-High Y, 3 years of tennis, 2 years of track, 3 years of FCCLA, and chairperson of the Brownsville CYS Easter egg hunt. Valerie has received a merit scholarship to California University of Pennsylvania, where she will pursue a major in social work with a minor in visual arts. Her plans are to become a licensed clinical social worker and specialize in pediatric trauma and expressive art treatment. The teacher she mentioned, Brian Nicholson, has this to say about Valerie. She is a very talented young artist. She has a passion for the arts and is always seeking new ways to express herself. She was honored at the Scholastic Arts and Writing by receiving a Merit Award for her portfolio in drawing and illustration. She is president of the Art Club and is always helpful to all students wishing to participate in the arts. Valerie, would you please come forward?
From Connellsville Area High School in the area of music, Anthony Domina. Anthony has been involved with concert, symphonic, and jazz bands. For 3 years, he has been the section leader of the marching band percussion ensemble indoor drumline. The instructors that have had a positive effect on Anthony's life include Mr. Jonathan Yusti, his band director, Michelle Harbaugh, the piano teacher and choir director, Mr. Gore, the piano teacher, music theory teacher, Mr. Schultz, his elementary band director and private instructor, and Mr. Connell, the drumline instructor. Anthony is a member of the National Honor Society and National German Honor Society. He is involved with the Pennsylvania All-Star Lions Band, Westmoreland County Community College Band, and Anthony's future plans are to attend Fairmont State University to study music education. Recently, Anthony was part of the indoor percussion ensemble who won first place and most improved at the Tournament Indoor Association Region 8 Championships. His teacher, Mr. Yutzi, had this to say: Anthony has been a member of the high school marching band for 5 years, in which he has been a percussion section leader for 3 of those years. He has earned a high-ranking chair in the symphonic band every year, maintaining a first or second chair placement. Anthony has been a member of the competitive indoor percussion ensemble for 5 years as well. He has been in jazz band every year since I restarted it, and has also participated in percussion ensemble for the last 3 years. Anthony's work ethic will give him the ability to pursue his dream of teaching music, evidenced by how hard he has worked and continues to work here in the high school band program. He is not just a drummer, but a very musically sensitive and well-rounded percussionist, able to play keyboards with 4-mallet technique, excellent traditional rudiments, and excellent timpani skills. His intense work ethic, combined with his natural talent at being both a musician and a teacher, will allow him to excel in his lifelong musical journey. Anthony? In the area of theater from Connellsville Area High School, Parker Cart. Parker has been in many theatrical plays in high school, including Beauty and the Beast, Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis, Beverly Hillbillies. From 2016 to 2018, he has performed with the Westmoreland Symphony All-Star Choir and sung with the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra in 2017. During kindergarten, he started taking percussion lessons at Atkins Music. He then started singing lessons during his early grade school years. His teacher, Mr. Ben Haynes, gave Parker the first opportunity to perform in a lead role, and he has continued to coach, teach, and mentor him throughout his high school years. Michelle Harbaugh has been instrumental in helping guide Parker to become a better singer and performer. Parker, throughout the years, has been encouraged also by his parents. During his junior and senior years of high school, Parker has been enrolled at West Virginia University. Having completed his freshman year, he was recently inducted into the Phi Sigma Theta National Honor Society WVU chapter. Parker was also inducted into the Society for Collegiate Leadership and Achievement. His academic achievements and activities include highest honors at Connellsville, 4.0 out of 4.0 unweighted, have made straight A's all 13 years as a student, National Honor Society, National Society of High School Scholars, Delta Phi Alpha National Honor Society, and he serves as president of the Connellsville Area High School German Honor Society, and president of the Connellsville Area High School German Club. He just met with the director of WVU Center for Science and Learning to discuss a research study that Parker plans to pursue next year in an attempt to develop a predictive model to identify people most at risk for opioid abuse. In the fall, he will attend WVU full-time as a dual major in psychology and physics. Ultimately, Parker plans to attend medical school. Regardless of what he pursues academically, music and the arts will always be a part of Parker's life. His teacher, Michelle Arbaugh, had this to say: Parker has been involved with the Connellsville Area High School senior play and our musicals throughout high school. He has played multiple major roles. He has put a lot of time and effort into the further development of his acting, singing, and dancing during his high school years. And unfortunately, Parker was not able to be with us, but if you give him a round of applause. And in the area of visual arts from Connellsville High School, Kelly Marie Williams. Kelly won the 2018 Congressional Art Contest. She received second place in the 2017-18 PSEA Fabric of Unionism competition and has won other small competitions. She has been hired to paint windows at the high school for a musical. She has painted a snowplow for PennDOT, who had a contest. And she's also worked at the Appalachian Creativity Center and provided designs for advertisements and building murals. Kelly's art teacher, Antoinette Dews, is one of her major inspirations. She has had her for 4 years in class, from Art 1 to Honors 2, and she always pushes her to do her best. Kelly has been on the high honor roll for over 3.5 for her academic career. This achievement makes her one of the 2019 Academic All-Stars. Kelly is the Art Society president and participates in competitions nationally. She is the section leader of the high school drumline. Kelly's in the symphonic band, a part of small ensembles, and performs in the jazz band. She can be seen volunteering at Laurel Ridge and Highland State Parks. After graduating, she plans on getting her associate's degree in practical nursing and continuing in freelance illustration. Her teacher, Antoinette, had this to say: Kelly is an intelligent, vibrant young artist whose artwork is outstanding. Her precision skills is demonstrated in all of her artwork. Kelly has won numerous awards in the visual fine arts at school functions, community, and outside competitions. Just this past summer, her work was chosen to be displayed at the Capitol. Her perseverance of making an artwork perfect is her style in everything she does. Kelly's also the president of the Advanced Honors Art and the National Art Society, which is not an easy job. It is her responsibility to create and host events to showcase the arts. Annually, there is a social at the high school which features a senior art show with other grades also included, a cultural food dinner which other arts participate in. The social so far has hosted up to 300 people. Kelly diligently has assigned students to their posts to help make this a great and successful event. Kelly?
And now we will have the honorees from Fraser High School. In the area of music, our first honoree is Nicholas Miller. Nick has been involved in the PMEA district band since 8th grade, the Fay West Honors Band in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, the West Virginia Honors Band in 11th and 12th grade, and the playing of taps at funerals. He has been in the marching band for 7 years, the grad band for 4 years, concert band for 7 years, and jazz band for 4 years. The mentors in his life include his older brother Eddie, who inspired him to play trumpet and be so involved in the band with his teachers throughout his schooling, and they have helped Nicholas out tremendously with the honing of his skills to play the trumpet and interpret music. Mr. Ratai, his teacher and band director, got him into actively participating in band activities, and his current band director has furthered his musical talents as well by engaging the band in different activities. He has played the trumpet since 4th grade, and he's a member of the National Honor Society, the Robotics Club, and the Tech and Engineering Club for 4 years, and the Foreign Language Club. Previous relay for life captain and bow participant. He has worked with the high school sound crew for 4 years. Nicholas has had the great honor of playing taps for local veterans who have been deceased, both servicemen and women, over the past 3 years. He currently holds a part-time job while attending school full-time. At this time, Nicholas has not made a final decision on his future path. He has been accepted into the pre-engineering program at West Virginia University, and if he chooses this route, he would like to continue playing trumpet in their marching band. He is also pursuing the possibility with Cummings in their TAP program. His teacher, Ryan Gurney, has this to say about Nick. Nick is a mature, musically talented student. He was selected for several honors bands in the area for multiple years as a high school student, and he has served as trumpet section leader for the marching band. Let's please give Nick a round of applause. Our next honoree is in the area of theater, and it's Logan Kulikowski. Logan is a 6-year member of the Fraser Drama Club. He is a member of the National Honor Society and 2019 class president, and he has achieved highest honors in high school. Logan is a 4-year letterman on the Fraser football team, and also a 4-year letterman on the baseball team, and is captain of both. His plans for the future include attending St. Vincent's College. One of his teachers, Vince Raphael, has this to say about Logan. He is an academic student who participates in a variety of school activities. He's been in the drama club since 6th grade. He is driven and determined. His work ethic has always been high, and his personal motivation matches that work ethic. Logan has always expressed to me that when asked by other students why he is in the drama club, he replies that speaking and performing skills are necessary in any profession. They easily apply to many situations and help him develop his speaking, listening, and writing skills with literacy, vocabulary, as well as in the arts. Logan is a great student leader, and he is a role model for younger students and relates well to diverse peer groups. Please welcome Logan Kulikowski. I wonder if Logan got that knee injury in drama club. It might have been baseball. Our last honoree from Fraser High School is in the area of visual arts, Lacey Sullivan. Lacey's artistic accomplishments include graphic design of and winning a contest for the Fraser Powder Puff T-shirts of 2016. She has also won a graphics contest for the Fraser High School basketball book. Lacey's mentors include Mrs. Rodman, her high school art teacher, who has inspired her in art. Another mentor of Lacey's is Mr. Smith, her high school graphic design teacher. He has inspired Lacey to want to continue her career in graphic design. Lacey is a member of the National Honor Society, and some of her activities include being a member of the marching band for 6 years and being a section leader for the last 2 years. Lacey can be seen volunteering at her church, helping her mom with church dinners, and being a junior deacon. She has also volunteered her time at church camp, counseling children. Lacey's future plans are to go to the Pennsylvania College of Technology in Williamsport to get a bachelor's degree in graphic design. One of her teachers, Amy Rodman, mentions this about Lacey. She is a student who has attended art club in the past and has been in art classes her entire senior year. She has always had creative ideas and will spend a lot of time developing those ideas. Let's please welcome Lacey.
And now from Geibel Catholic Junior Senior High School, in the area of music, Nina Alvarez. Nina has held lead roles in her high school musical for the past 2 years. She was also the section leader for Showstoppers and chamber cantor for the school masses. Her mentors include her parents, sisters, vocal coaches, friends, and teachers. Nina is the senior class president, the soccer and cheer captain, and the National Honor Society treasurer. She is involved with the Spirit Club, SAD, and serves on both the prom and Christmas dance committees. In the arts, Nina is a section leader in chamber, Showstoppers, and she has been involved in the spring musical for 4 years. Her community activities include Vacation Bible School and working at church festivals. Nina's future plans are to become a high school teacher involving music. Her teacher, Nick Bell, had this to say: "If you want to meet an incredibly respectful, dedicated, responsible, and talented young adult, then Nina is the perfect example of all of those." Nina was a huge part of the Geibel Music Department. She was a 4-year member of the Chamber Ensemble and Showstoppers. She was lead in Footloose and Mamma Mia. During Mamma Mia this year, Nina was the first lead in 20 years that I've been teaching and directing shows at Geibel to stop the show, all 3 performances, with her incredible and emotional performance. She will go down in Geibel history as one of the best leads I have ever had. She is one-of-a-kind talent and an even better person. It was an honor to be her teacher, and I am so proud of her for this recognition. I will miss her so much when she graduates, but cannot wait to see what her future holds. Nina? In the area of theater from Geibel, Lauren Judy. Lauren has been involved with the spring musical for 4 years, dance captain for the spring musical for 2 years, chamber ensemble for 4 years. She's danced for 16 years with the Hope Dance Studio and is the assistant student dance teacher. Mr. Bell has been both an inspiration and a mentor to Lauren most of her life. She has known Mr. Bell since she was a child as he played the piano and organ at her church. She then attended Geibel Catholic, where Mr. Bell serves as her music teacher, musical director, chamber director, and so much more. Mr. Bell's love for the arts and music has inspired her passion for dance and her decision to continue with a dance career in college. Lauren's mother took her to her first dance class, which inspired her to dance, and she has been dancing ever since. Her father has never missed a dance recital and is always first in line to get those tickets, even if it means camping out. Both of Lauren's older sisters danced before her, and their commitment and love for dance inspired her passion. She has always looked up to her sisters, and they have mentored her through life. Lauren's dance teachers not only taught her to dance, but they have also taught her many valuable life lessons. Lauren is a member of the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, varsity cheerleader captain for 4 years, a member of the girls soccer team, chamber ensemble, spring musical for 4 years, dance captain for the spring musical for 2. Some of her community activities include altar server at St. Aloysius Church and also a member of SAD, which stands for Students Against Dangerous Decisions. Lauren's future plans include attending Point Park University and majoring in business with a minor in dance. Her teacher, Nick Bell, had this to say: "I have known Lauren since she was a very young girl, as she attends the same church as I do. I always knew her as just a quiet and nice little kid until I became her teacher. She is quite energetic, outgoing, fun, caring, and a very talented singer and dancer. She also has a smile that lights up an entire room when she enters. She has danced since she was 2 years old, and it definitely shows. She was an assistant dance captain last year for Footloose and a dance captain for this year's production of Mamma Mia. She has also performed the role of Allie and did a fantastic job. Lauren was also in the previous 2 shows at Geibel and is a member of the Geibel Ensemble, Chamber Ensemble. Lauren will go down as one of the best dancers to ever grace Geibel's stage, and I will miss her very much next year. I am so proud of her for earning this recognition and look forward to watching her dance and seeing that big smile on stage somewhere in the future. Lauren? And in the area of visual arts from Geibel, Amanda Knapp. Amanda received honorable mention at the Twin Lakes Art and Heritage Festival her sophomore year. 2 gold keys, 4 silver keys, and 2 merit awards in the Scholastic Arts and Writing competition her junior year. She also won 6 gold keys, 3 silver keys, and 13 merit awards in that competition her senior year. Amanda also painted a mural for her school's lab. Tony Sharp has been her art teacher outside of school for about 8 years, and she has always encouraged Amanda's ideas and helped her with painting techniques to manifest these ideas in picture. Julie Yankovich, her art teacher in school, introduced her to the Scholastic Art Competition and helped her immensely when it came to preparing the pieces for that competition. Mike Hadris, who is the lead singer of the band Perfume Genius, inspires her to make art, and he is by far her favorite musician in both voice and lyric. Amanda is a member of the Phoenix Art Club for Teenagers, Poetry Club, Geibel Catholic Lady Gators Basketball, Abundant Life Church Senior High Youth Group, National Honor Society, French Honor Society, where she serves as the treasurer, Fayette Chamber of Commerce Student of the Month, and also National Honor Society. Amanda can be seen waitressing at both St. Joan of Arc's Fish Fries and Feed Fayette. She has painted a mural for Geibel Catholic High School. She has volunteered at the food organization at the homeless shelter and is involved with a youth group that promotes city beautification. Amanda's future plans include studying funeral services at Point State University. Her teacher, Julie, had this to say: Amanda has shown creativity, perseverance, patience, and enthusiasm in the 4 years that I have known her. In her 9th grade year, I was just getting to know her, along with many of the other students in her class. I would introduce a project and walk around the room as they worked. Amanda was amazing to watch. Her pieces would transform from almost nothing into a masterpiece. Amanda creates unique and meticulous work. She seems to have the correct proportions in her head, and she produces it on paper. Amanda radiates art and artistic ability. I wish Amanda all the luck in the world for her future. I cannot wait to see where she goes. Amanda.
Now we have the honorees from the Laurel Highlands High School. In the area of music, Brandon Scott Sagi. Brandon has been involved with the Laurel Highlands High School plays Wizard of Oz, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Into the Woods, Mary Poppins, and Newsies. Laurel Highlands LHHS Advanced Theater, The Night I Died at the Palace Theater, The Elevator Family, A Charlie Brown Christmas, 12 Angry Drawers, and Peter and the Starcatcher. Some of his biggest inspirations include his choir and theater director Lauren Stewart and his band director Mark Santor. He would like to thank them for giving him all of the opportunities that have let him do what he loves. His mother always wanted him to do what he loves and is always 100% supportive of his accomplishments and his future endeavors. Some of Brandon's achievements include Actors and Artists of Fayette County, drumline captain, choir section leader, and he directed a Charlie Brown Christmas. SAD Club member, Interact Club member, Rotary Interact Club member, and the Mini Mighty Mustang Mentoring Program. He is also on the highest honor roll. Brandon has participated in many activities, including Summer at the State Theater, Annie, Chicago, Peter Pan, Music Man, and Mamma Mia, the Guyer Performing Arts Center, the Little Mermaid, PMEA District Band in 2017, Fay West Honors Band in 2018, and the West Virginia Highest Mountaineer Band in 2018. Brandon's future plans are to attend West Virginia University, where he plans to study theater and dance. He has received the Scholarship of Distinction and the Mountaineer Connection Grant from West Virginia University. He hopes he can also perform in various ensembles for percussion as well. His teacher, Mark Santor, had this to say about Brandon. He has been involved with the Pride of the Laurel Highlands, the Mustang Marching Band for 5 years, as well as the percussion ensemble for 4 years. While at Laurel Highlands, Brandon was a strong member of the percussion section. Brandon was responsible for helping sectional rehearsals and teaching marching band drill to his peers. He has logged many hours for after-school rehearsals, his own preparation time, and keeping up with all of his studies. In addition to the marching band, Brandon has been very involved in other extracurricular activities, as well as a full academic load of classes. Brandon was a member of the PMEA District Band, Fay West Honors Band, and West Virginia Honors Band. During all of these endeavors, Brandon showed strong leadership, great communication skills, and excellent time management. As one of his teachers, I feel Brandon has been a strong asset to our band program and will truly have success in his future endeavors. Let's please welcome Brandon. From Laurel Highlands High School in the area of theater, Isabella Leonardo. Growing up in a home where breaking out into song and dance was completely normal, Isabella considers herself extremely lucky to have such a supportive family in the arts. Since a very young age, Isabella knew she wanted to be on Broadway. It wasn't until she landed the lead role in her school's musical Mary Poppins that the reality of this dream really started to set in. Isabella has been taking voice lessons for about 7 years and plans to attend the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City. She'd like to thank her choir director, Lauren Stewart, and her family for always being extremely supportive and for pushing her to be the best that she can be. Her teacher, Lauren Stewart, has this to say about her. Isabella Leonardo has been a student of mine for 4 years. She has greatly exceeded my expectations as a vocalist and as an actress. She is a member of the Auditions Honors Chamber Choir for the past 3 years, and her work is always prepared. It is evident she spends countless hours of her personal time to ensure quality performances. Isabella always takes pride in herself and her performances. She has volunteered for many of our fall productions. Isabella shows her dedication to performance by performing in Laurel Highlands recitals, and she has been in many musicals, starting with The Wizard of Oz in her 6th grade year. Isabella also takes on lead roles, including Rapunzel in Into the Woods, Mary Poppins in Mary Poppins, and Catherine in Newsies in our annual musicals. She is highly motivated and very dedicated to her work on stage. She has been a huge asset to our theater program at Laurel Highlands, and I know she will do great things in her future. I don't know that Lauren was able to make it today. Is Lauren here? Let's please give Lauren a round of applause. In the area of visual arts, from Laurel Highlands High School, Madison Ford. Madison won first place prize for printmaking in the Laurel Highlands High School Art Show, as well as 3 scholarships to Touchstone's Teen Week Art Instruction Program. Madison's mother is also a wonderful artist herself and has both endlessly inspired and always supported Madison in her creative endeavors. Madison's art teacher, Mr. DeFazio, has taught her most of what she knows when it comes to being creative. Madison's instructors during her time at Touchstone have also taught Madison many essential things. Madison has completed 2 advanced art classes at Laurel Highlands High School, and she is a 3-year member and the current president of the Laurel Highlands Art Club. Madison plans on majoring in animation and minoring in fine arts at Edinburgh University in the fall. She will then pursue a career in animation while remaining a freelance artist on the side. Her teacher, Mike DeFazio, comments about Madison. She has been a student in my art class for the past 4 years. She has successfully completed Art 1, Advanced Sculpture and Ceramics, and Advanced Mixed Media classes. She is a very dedicated and talented young artist. Madison has excelled at painting, drawing, printmaking, ceramics, and sculpture. I have known Madison to be very hardworking and persistent in her drive to produce high-quality works of art. She is self-motivated and has been a pleasure to work with. I am looking forward to hearing about the interesting things she will accomplish in her future life. I don't believe Madison is with us either. Madison here? Let's please give Madison a round of applause.
And now for the honorees from Uniontown Area High School. In the area of music, Luke Patton. Luke is a 3-year member of the Uniontown Marching Band with 2 years playing sousaphone and 1 year as drum major. He is a Fay West Honors Band member, concert band member, 3 years show choir member, and is in the honors choir. Luke admires Mrs. Elias and puts him on his musical path. Mr. Kramer for helping him to develop his voice and for collaborating with him every week. And Mr. Wilson for general coolness. Some of Luke's achievements include 4 years of highest honors, member of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, 5 years member and 3-year captain of the math team, achieving local victory each year, 4-year member, and 1-year captain of the quiz team, achieving victory this year. Luke can be seen volunteering with the Third Presbyterian Church. He's a brass player, praise band student leader of youth group, and was awarded Fayette County Chamber of Commerce Student of the Month and Rotary Club Student of the Month. Future plans include attending college for a degree in computer science. His teacher, Wyatt Wilson, had this to say: Luke is a kind, personable student of the highest musical aptitude. He has a keen ear and always been quick to pick up on a new music. His largest accomplishments within our program include leading the marching band as a drum major and bringing the incomparable Moonface Martin to life in our recent production of Anything Goes. Luke's innate abilities and determination will bring him great success upon graduation. Luke?
Thank you, Governor.
Congratulations. In the area of theater, Abigail rocks. Abigail has been in musicals at the Center of the Performing Arts in Carmichael, which include The Little Mermaid Jr., Once on This Island, Mary Poppins as a chimney sweep, and Shrek the Musical. In her high school, she has performed in all 4 of their last musicals, including The Little Mermaid, James and the Giant Peach, Fiddler on the Roof, and Anything Goes. She has sung the national anthem at many of her school sporting events, graduations, and other events. Her mentors would be all of her past and present directors and teachers. The people that has inspired her the most are her parents. They show her what hard work is and to never give up. They support and encourage her to be the best that she can be. Abigail has received highest honors, Raiderette for the Uniontown Area High School Band for the last 3 years, Drama Club for the last 4 years, Student of the Month her freshman year, Show Choir for the last 4 years. She's also a certified lifeguard. She was the first runner-up in the 65th annual Coal Queen pageant. She has won Best Talent, best on-stage answer to the impromptu question, and the most sponsorships in the pageant. She's also a member of the French Club and the Bible Club. Abigail can be seen volunteering with her Aunt Heather, working with the Fayette County Envirothon. She has also volunteered at the Fayette County Children's Water Festival and the Fayette County Agricultural Festival. She also raises money for St. Jude's, the American Heart Association, and the National Kidney Foundation. Abigail's future plans are to attend Seton Hill University to pursue a BFA in musical theater. Her teacher, Wyatt Wilson, had this to say: "Abby is a driven, talented performer with a wonderful spirit. She has been a standout performer within our programs since she first joined us her freshman year. Her biggest roles include Ariel in The Little Mermaid, Reno Sweeney in Anything Goes, both of which stole the show. Abby has been a pleasure to work with and will be greatly missed next year." Abby? And in the area of visual arts, Leah Jane Anito. Leah has been a member of the art club for 4 years, vice president sophomore year and president senior year, a member of the National Arts Honor Society for 3 years, and current president, lead designer for a school mural, and she's also worked on a mural for a school in Costa Rica. Leah's mentors include Mrs. Gartley, who has always supported her creative journey throughout her academic years. She is the most generous and kind person who makes an effort to include everyone and gives people the ability to have a voice. Her mother, who is an extremely stubborn and determined woman who believes in me no matter what. She takes in account the feelings of everyone and often puts them in front of her own. As a self-made business owner, she is a hard worker and constantly presses on me the idea, and my sister, that money isn't the equivalent of success. Her host mother from her exchange year is one of the strongest women she has ever met. She has a kind heart and devotes herself to her family in ways I have never seen before. She goes out of her way to give all of her affection and makes it a duty to give her children everything they could ever need in order to have a loving outlook on the world. Some of Leah's academic achievements include exchange year in Costa Rica, 5 years AP Honors Student Gifted. Lee has helped raise $25,000 for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, the Disney Half Marathon High School track team, voluntary work in an environmental camp in Costa Rica for 3 weeks, community service through the art club, empty bowls, and participated with Horses with Hope. Lee plans to return to Costa Rica for an extended amount of time to earn a bachelor's at a foreign college. She then hopes to immerse herself in Asian culture by attending a school in Japan and finding work abroad. Her teacher, Rebecca Gartley, had this to say: Lee is president of our National Honor Society. She has also served as vice president and president of our art club. She is talented and compassionate. She has proven herself as a visionary and a leader by spearheading a school mural project, planning and organizing the NAHS art exhibition and induction ceremony, as well as many days of work on several other service projects in the arts. Lee? Leah, sorry. So that makes actually now, over the 5 years, we've given out over 100 of these honors, as well as over $10,000 in honorarium. So let's have a round of applause for all of our honorees today. Some of our honorees today have brought some of their artwork, and we have it on display. So if you'll stay around, we have some refreshments for you to enjoy. Look at the artwork. Also, students, if you remember to gather in the back there for a picture. And thank you all again for coming out today. Congratulations.